877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is volatile, how do you invest intelligently?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's no need for you to be panicking in a market that goes up 800 points one day, 700 points, then it goes down again. All you need is good advice, need good direction. You don't get that from your CNBC and the Fox business and all these crazy shows. You don't. Here's what you get from them. Thank you, Jim Cramer. But this is something that this really bugs me. Listen to this.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What? Their responsibility is to their partners and shareholders and not to you? Check my site out, philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need the experience of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
What a difference it makes in your financial life. philsgang.com. It works. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, boydinvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
And the numbers are out for the May jobs report, and boy, it certainly wasn't on the weak side. 339,000 non-farm payrolls.
Was this the perfect jobs report and perfect scenario for somebody like you, Jim Lebenthal?
This was pretty darn good. This jobs report, to your question, Scott, is what a soft landing looks like.
Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
And those job numbers are nothing but a lie. Welcome to Phil's Gang. This is incredible. We've had now the jobs that the happy talk, we'll call it. That was the grand finale of last week. If you remember, all the happy talk, we started out on May 25th with NVIDIA gapping up 30%, which is unheard of. That NVIDIA, that led the rally, for tech stock rally. And again, they gapped up 30%, which is, we never seen that. That's insane. And then more of the happy talk after May 25th came June 1. Debt ceiling agreement. That was another rally. That's rally, yeah. Debt ceilings. They agreed to it. I mean, why would anybody rally to be happy about the debt ceiling being lifted when the debt ceiling shouldn't be lifted? More debt? What are you, nuts? Same day, more happy talk. More happy talk. They're going to pause rates. That's right. No more rate hikes. That's it. June. That's it. But only one Fed guy said that, and he was just at a meeting, and he said, I'm talking for myself, I don't really know, but yet they took it as, hey, no more rate hikes. It's a pause for June. So we had quite a week between all this happy talk. NVIDIA going nuts, debt ceiling agreement, rate hike pause, everything's supposed to be wonderful. Everything's going to be a soft landing, right? But the grand finale of the happy talk was these 329,000 new jobs. Where are they? First of all, how can that be? How can we have a need for 329,000 new jobs when at the same time Biden's monetary policies not only are causing historic trade deficits, but combine the terrible trade deficits with our spending deficits. I don't know if many people know this, but you know that Biden is spending 40% more than the tax we take in, than the income we take in. Yeah, he's spending 40% more than our revenue. That's like you spending your household. You're spending 40% more at home on your household stuff, 40% more than you're taking in as a salary. Well, I know they can print. Well, that's why we got a problem. They keep printing. That's inflation. Now, remember, these spending deficits, where he's spending all this money and he's spending 40% more than our tax income, that's linked directly to higher inflation, higher interest rates, stagnant new manufacturing orders, and slow economic growth. Decrease in our savings, decrease in our income. So why do we need, if that's the case, why do we need over 329,000 new jobs? What are they going to do? The economy's falling apart. Now, just think about the interest rate. Now, what are we looking forward to? We are going to hit 6.5%. We're at 5.25%. Remember, it was 6.5% that took the NASDAQ, that popped the NASDAQ bubble in 2000 and wiped out $8 trillion in home equity and stock values. We're at 5.25%. 6.5%, that's not far off. And 5.25%, exactly where we are now at 5.25% back in 2006, that popped the housing bubble. That's when the housing bubble crashed. We're at 5.25% now. So why do we need these 300? Somebody remind me why we need 329,000 new jobs. Who's doing all this hiring? Our economic growth, terrible. Our economic growth is like 1%, 1.5%, 1.3%. Are you nuts? It was 5%. 5% 24 months ago. It's 1.3%. What are you, nuts? Now, if we go back to 2018, remember I told you that's when the crash was going to happen. I said all these crashes, I said mark this down, 2018, January, I said, we're going to start our crash. And we did. Remember, 2018 was, we had that, back then, our GDP growth was 2.9%. We're at what, 1.3% now? And we're going to have a soft landing? Oh, and we need what? 329,000 people got all these jobs because we're doing so good with the economy? This is insane. We're weaker now than in 2009, in 2018, when I predicted that was going to be the first series of crashes. And so we have a weaker economy now at 1.3 compared to 2018, 2.9%. The valuations of stocks compared to our underlying economy is still greater today than it was in 2018 when that first crash of the series of crashes happened. The ratio of debt to GDP was 123% at the end of 2008. You know, we stand at 145%. 145%, that's our ratio of debt to growth. Are you nuts? Corporation ratio of debt to GDP growth is insane, almost 810%. But everything's okay. Now, I don't understand this. What, 300? See, I don't believe the 329,000 jobs. Let me tell you why. See, before each new job numbers, the first Friday of each month, they should explain, tell the people, the fake business network needs to explain there are two different job reports. There's two. Explain to the people, be truthful what's going on. There's two different job reports. One is totally phony. That's the estimate job survey. That's where we got the 329,000. It's the most unreliable job number you could ever get. It's a joke. Are you kidding me? Of that 329,000, do you realize that 200,000 of those 329,000 was a guess? It's called birthing. Birthing. That's right. It's called birthing. Birth-death metric system. So you have your estimate job survey. They said we had 329,000, when 200,000 of that 329 were not really jobs at all. It was a guess. And they birth those jobs. That's right, birth them. They make them up. What they do every time they do the job numbers, they go and they check through the computers. Like, just give you an example. Like, they take Sarasota, Florida, and see that people are, how many people started corporations, how many people incorporated. And then they apply to those numbers how many jobs. They're guessing how many jobs these corporations that are brand new are going to employ. This is insane. More when I get back on this. This is nuts.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money, but more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, We recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. So the point is, those 329,000 jobs, 200,000 were guessed under what they call the estimate job survey. That's what they do the first Friday of each month. Then they have another one, which is the household survey. The household survey is the one you want to go with, because those are real numbers. They're not guesses. Now, the difference is this. Think of it this way here. The estimate job survey that we're all used to, that they give us the first of each month, all they do is they go in and they estimate positions. Like, for example, my company. Okay, our company here, we have, let's say, 10 positions, but we only have, let's say, 6 where we have bodies at those positions, okay? But it's still, so what they count is the 10 positions. They don't count the number of bodies that are working. That's how they do it. Whereas the household survey, okay, that's reliable because they count the positions that are filled. The positions that are filled. So if I have 10 positions and only 5 of my positions are filled, they count the 5 positions that are filled. But the other survey counts all the positions as if they were filled. But here's the problem with that number, with the estimate job survey. If you take a look at, the biggest problem we have is, where do most of our jobs come from? The majority of our job comes from small and startup businesses. In other words, startup and small existing businesses. But if you look at that, about 80% of those jobs, okay, are owners. They're working, just the owner and the wife, maybe one person. That's it. So when they do their job number, okay, the estimate job survey. Remember, estimate job survey. So they go in and they have to make up jobs. So they'll birth them when they have to create more jobs. But they're not real jobs. They just birth them. Sometimes they kill them off too, because if inflation's too high, then they want to kill the jobs. So it brings down inflation. So if you really look at that job number of 329,000 jobs, 200,000 were birthed. They were guessed. That's all they do. That's the way it works. But the real survey, the real household survey, that's the real one, because that's real because they actually count the warm bodies. The warm bodies. They don't care about how many jobs, how many positions, how many desks. They want to know who's working. Now, let's say I'm full of crap. But then someone should answer me, why would we need these jobs? First of all, 329,000? Retail inventory is backed up to the hill. They can't sell anything. They're backing up. Stores here in town, unbelievable, my friends, they can't sell anything. They haven't seen this bad since the pandemic. Productivity is at its lowest since 1947. New orders are at a 3 to 5 year low. Manufacturing is at a 14-year low. The Chicago manufacturing, they just came out with that report, which is pretty much representative of the Dallas Fed and all the other areas of our country. Their comment was, the new orders are so bad, it's not just recessionary bad, it's like depression bad. Truck and rail tonnage, which you really go look at, because that's where all the shipping is, rail and truck tonnage, lowest demand since 2021. Cargo ships, lowest demand since the Great Depression. Why? Because consumer confidence has dropped to near new low. Why? Because you have record high household debt, $17 trillion. They're tapped out. Their credit cards are tapped out. They withdrew their money from their 401k. They're withdrawing their money from savings. They're withdrawing money for anywhere they could get it. So now their confidence is low. They don't go spend. They have record high credit card debt, 20%. Most of these people have cards at stores that are 28%. Come on. They can't spend. They have record low savings, record high credit cards, and record delinquencies. And wages can't keep up with inflation. We just got those numbers. Wages aren't keeping up with inflation. That job number, I forgot what it was. I think we're at 4.3% for, you have to give it to me, Willie. I think it was 4.3%, but regardless, the wages aren't keeping up with inflation. So the point is, all this happy talk against a backdrop of economic growth to drop from 5 to 1.3%. How about the spending spree? This happy talk, and we got all these jobs, 329. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with the people. What are they going to do? As I say, you got inventory backed up. You got spending stimulus, okay? Remember, Biden is spending 40% more than he takes in revenue. And remember, when he prints and spends all this money, it's on stimulus to stimulate. Are you nuts? New green energy, these socialist programs, the LBQGQ programs, and he's causing these historic deficits, which are linked to Biden's 40-year high inflation, which is the biggest threat to our entire economy, which is more of a threat than any war, more of a threat than any terrorist, more of a threat than any pandemic, and yes, more scary, okay? Not only terrorism, but it's a bigger threat than the environment. Yes, inflation's bigger than the environment, which is the number one concern of this country, is the environment. And our strong dollar, do you know what that's doing to us? We'll talk about that when we get back. Then what stocks do you buy? We'll talk about that too. Hang in there.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%? I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show, one guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals, you follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show, one guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals, you follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join our gang. Go to philsgang.com. Click where it says Get Started. And 10 days free. And you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to read the yields so that you know, okay, which sector I should be in of stocks when yields are high or yields are low. You're going to learn how not only to enter stock to buy, to go long, but you're going to enter stock so when they go down, you're making money. 90% of people, 89% of people lose money because they don't do that. Well, we're going to fix you up so you do. After the end of the 10 days, you decide not to stay with us, that's fine. Okay, but please just, the knowledge you use, if you make money, then just please send some money to St. Jude, whatever you can afford, okay? All right, so I want you to think about this for a second. So when we had all this happy talk last week, it started out, remember, NVIDIA went up 30% because of all this AI talk, or this AI. Listen to this. Listen to these nuts. Listen to this.
How do we make money in these markets?
How do you make money? Well, you just put AI at the end of a search.
AI, yeah.
Yeah, big joke.
Is there a safe way of playing it with to take advantage of the upside without getting hurt? Could I just buy the NASDAQ or some of the chip makers?
Well, who wants to buy the NASDAQ when most of the FANGs have...
Unbelievable. The NASDAQ is struggling, okay? You got 4 stocks that are driving the whole NASDAQ. People don't understand that. And as I said, when you go back and look at these 339,000 jobs, 200,000 were guessed. They were guessed at. They were birthed. 200,000 birthed. They weren't real jobs. Always go look at your housing and household jobs. That's where you get the real number because they count real jobs, real bodies. That's why they don't use that one because they can't embellish them. I mean, as I said, why would we need, this is crazy. Why would he need 339,000 new jobs? And remember, that goes directly against what Powell is doing. He's trying to raise rates, and he's going to continue to raise rates because he's got to crush the CEOs of companies, the owners of businesses. He needs them to feel that high interest rate so their lines of credit are too costly. What do they do next? Lay people off. That's his idea. Get the owners of business to lay help off. When they lay help off, they go home, they don't have a job, they can't spend. That's how you get inflation down. Are you kidding? Inflation is not, inflation is not, what are they saying now, 4.9%? That's insane. It's not 4.9%. Wages, by the way, are 4.3%. Are you kidding? So if you take a snapshot of our economy, so Biden's spending annually 40% more than the government receives in tax revenue. Okay? And he spends the money not on things that are good, not on something where we have productivity, where we create new jobs. No, he spends it on stimulus. That causes our historic deficits, which are linked to rate hikes, which in turn are linked to our 40-year high inflation, which in turn is linked to historic large Biden deficits. And the consequences of deficits, we're feeling them today. Higher interest rate, decrease in wages, decrease in savings, decrease in growth. We have the largest banking crisis ever. We have an inverted yield curve, means we are in an inflation. Our U.S. net worth has plunged to a negative $20 trillion. At the end of the year of 2022, we have a net negative loss, like a business. The United States is a business. We have lost in our business, the United States, $1.2 trillion. Cargo ships, low demand. Truck tonnage, low. Trade deficits, low. I mean, trade deficits are going through a record high. You got record high. That kills you. Just like the inverted yield curve kills you. You have historic debt and deficits. Then you got the shrinking economy because of that. We got record commercial debt, record corporate debt. And they're paying more money now, these corporations, than they did in 2018 when these crashes started. And again, productivity. We don't produce anything. We don't have any productivity. It's as bad as it was. We haven't seen this bad since 1947. The Chicago Manufacturing Report came out. Told us we were in a depression environment with manufacturing. So, I mean, I don't care what you look at. Record high credit card debt, record low savings, record household debt, record auto loans, record delinquencies, and what? We need 329,000 more people to do what? To do what? So go check out when next time they give you an unemployment number, go check out the household. That's the one that tells you the truth. So what we did, when I told my members, when NVIDIA took off, they had that 30% rally, and then Apple went up, all the same stocks. You watch, see what happens this week here. I'll bet you these stocks are all going to start a 5, 7, maybe more correction, 5 to 7%. I've been telling my gang members, look, let's sell into our Apple, our Microsoft, our NVIDIA, our Google, Meta, and Amazon. And let's switch, and what we'll do is we'll buy oils, which we did. We bought oils, and we also bought oils, and we bought banks. We bought oils and banks. I said they're going to switch out of the smart money, the big money is going to switch out of these big tech stocks. They're going to go back and going to start buying all these cheap oil stocks and buy all these banks, cheap banks, and they're going to buy all the, especially the small banks, the regional banks. They're going to go out, they all have to, all those people who shorted those banks, remember, they got to buy those back. Anytime you short a stock, remember, there's a tremendous amount of shorts on oil, on the oil sector. Okay, Conoco, all of them. Now it happens, if I made $5,000 shorting, let's say Oxy or Hess, I don't make $5,000 on a short till I go buy it, and that's what moves it up. So what you do is you go in and you try to buy what we call a swing trade. Not a position trade, you buy a swing trade. A swing trade where you go in, and when the short covering occurs, we have two different charts. The one chart is our Pro 2 chart, the other is Pro 1. We watch Pro 1, so when we knew they were going to switch out of these tech stocks and go buy the banks, what do? We went and bought the banks on a swing trade on Pro 1. Usually it lasts for 2, 3, or 4 days. And then if it lasts more than that and our Pro 2 turns green, then we'll switch, it will go as an investment. But there's going to be a lot of movement in the market for short covering. But does it mean, the crash is over? Of course not at all. And let me tell you, the dollar, I'm telling you right now, that dollar is going to get crushed. You watch and see. It's going to get crushed at one point, and gold will be, everybody's going to be jumping into. Not now, but see, you should be in a position we are. So we now are shorting gold. We're shorting. I just told my members, sent them an alert to start shorting our GDX. Our GDX. Stay short. We've been shorting it. And then what happened? She had a nice rally, okay, May 31st, right up to the end of June 1. And then now she's coming back down, and we're going to go stay short because it's totally red. When our candlesticks are red, that tells us money is coming out. That's the beautiful thing about our chart. And you can try these charts free. They're color-coded. They tell you when to buy, when to sell. They warn you. They even turn yellow. So if you're in a stock and all of a sudden there's not enough money to get that stock going up, it will warn you. It'll turn yellow. It works. So you got 10 days to use the chart while you're with us free. You see it works. You need the tools, but I'm going to tell you right now, they are lying to you about this job number.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works. You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And again, go to my site, philsgang.com, sign up free for 10 days, click where it says get started, okay? Now, remember, we had when we had this big AI talk, everything about AI, and then NVIDIA shot up 30% because of AI and their earnings, right? And then remember, the next talk was about no more rate hikes in June. And they said the talk at the Federal Reserve is no more rate hikes come June. It was a pause. That's not true. Only one person said something. That whole rally was based on this. Listen to this.
I think that Phil Jefferson, the future vice chair's speech, was meant as a signal to the markets that they were wrong to expect a rate hike, and it worked. So
yeah, it worked. They juiced the market. It worked to juice the market. It's not true. Here's what Jefferson said at his meeting.
Before I begin, let me remind you that the views I will express today are my own and not necessarily those of my colleagues in the Federal Reserve System.
That's right. He was giving a speech. Now, let me tell you how it works. If they were truly going to go and they're going to put a halt, no more rate hikes, could put a pause on, I'll tell you how it works. Been doing this for over 50 years. They send 3 or 4 of the 11 Fed presidents or governors out on TV. That's right, on TV. They don't have just one guy slip a little bit, intentionally slip. This is not a game. That was a bold-faced lie. So that's another reason why we had this big rally and people jumping in the market like crazy. I mean, when you start seeing staples going up, everything was going up last week because everybody who was shorting Coca-Cola, and we were shorting Coca-Cola, we were shorting Pepsi, Clorox, all they were making good money. And we took our profits. It's called short covering. That's why it went up. But people who jumped in didn't understand that's short covering. That's what caused it to go up. They didn't know that. And the people who are in those stocks weren't shorting them to begin with. They were long because they don't know how to short. You've got to know how to short. Another thing that drove me crazy over the weekend, I was listening to him talk about Social Security. The trustees of the Social Security, the trust fund, as you call it, they're saying that they're going to have to cut benefits when 2034 comes. And, they always blame it on the boomers, the retirees, the boomers, all their fault. No, it's not. They took care of the boomers. You remember, they increased their ages of the boomers from 65 to 67. That was fixed. But they won't tell you that. They still got to blame it on the boomers because they don't want to tell you the truth. The problem is, the big part is why the American worker, he's earning less than the Social Security trustees anticipated they'd be earning. And they're paying less in Social Security. Why? Because remember what they were doing. The Fed was making interest rates 0 and sending money and selling money to the corporations, loaning the money to corporations at 0. So they were buying their stocks. They're doing stock buybacks. So what's happened after 14 years of stock buybacks, can you imagine if they didn't allow the stock buybacks during that 14 years, all that money would have gone into business investment, new technology, new machinery, new facilities. That increases productivity. You increase productivity, now you're going to start increasing your sales. You increase your sales, your economy grows, wages go up. But for 14 years, instead of increasing productivity to increase wages, to increase our standard of living, they said, screw Main Street, screw their standard of living. We could care less about them. What we're going to do is take all that money and do stock buybacks. And there was no money left in Social Security. We'll blame it on the boomers. It was their fault. The boomers' fault. Instead of putting the blame where it should be, on these characters who are supposed to be running the show. God, we have a bunch of crooks. It's unbelievable. So what do? Stop listening to them. Learn how to invest properly. Have the right tools like we do. I mean, we designed our own charts, the Pro 1, the Pro 2. It sends you a signal. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to take profits. You're not there blindly listening to these morons, these dopes on Business News Networks. Are you kidding me? And again, just from a common sense point of view, does it make sense? I mean, I know when you talk about how wages wages are at 4.3 and inflation's 4.9. That don't sound like a lot. That's huge. That's huge. That's like the difference between 4.3 and 4.9, okay, would be like if you were building a bridge and it was 2 miles long and you're the engineer and you missed it by 1 3/4 miles. That's how big you missed getting to the other side. That's a huge number. So to make money in this market, you always, or any market, you always want to be in a position you could care less if the market's going up or the market's going down. All you have to do is learn how the market works. I'm not talking going home cracking books. What are you, nuts? It's just simple pattern recognition and knowing the basics of the stock market, how it works. Volume. Like, look what's going on today. The Dow's down 177 points. The Nasdaq's down. The spiders are down. That means there was no follow-through after all this happy talk. What's that tell you? That means there's no key reversal. We've been tanking. We are still in a downtrend. People fail to remember that this market is still down 14% from its peak. The S&P and the Nasdaq still down near 14% from its peak after about, oh my God, since 2022. Actually, November 2021, and the S&P started going down about 32% starting January 2022. You know, we still, from January, or from November 2021, the NASDAQ is still 14% away from going back to where it fell. And then the S&P, since January of 2022, is still, here we are now, in May, or in June 2023, and we still haven't captured it back. This is crazy. So if you have the right charting to follow the money, so when you know exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to get out, when to add to your position. You're not doing it blindly. This is what we do around here with our members. We're right with you. And then you're going to do fine. But if you're still listening to try to get your stock pick, okay, from these CNBC people or whatever, it won't work. And by the way, I always tell people who listen to me on the radio, I really appreciate you listening. But please, when I tell you about a stock, if I'm saying we're bought this stock, short a stock, I know some of you just go and grab that stock because you don't want to join the gang, right? You don't want to join. You don't want to spend $39.95. So you think, well, if he says something on radio about a stock, I'll just go buy it. Or if he's saying he's shorting, I'll go short it. Well, it doesn't work that way. How am I if I can't be in touch with you? How do I know let's say I tell you to go and short Caterpillar, but overnight something happened. Tomorrow morning I can't get a hold of you. I can't tell you to turn around and reduce your position or change your position. So you lose money because you're not a member. And then I read somewhere, I listen to Phil Grandy, I lost money, but you don't say the other half. You don't tell them the other half. You never join the gang. So please, when you hear me talking about stocks, buying or selling short, don't do it. Not unless you're a gang member, because I have no way of contacting you unless you're a member. And you get 10 days free, for God's sakes. So again, remember, another big thing that it's unbelievable that I don't understand why people don't understand this. Why would we need all those jobs, 329,000 jobs, when the middle class share of our nation's income is at a 22-year low? People don't have money to buy. Everything's tapped out. But the stock market is still the best place to be. You can always make money in the market, but you need to know what you're doing. And that's why we're here to help you. See on the chart. Join my gang for 10 days.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.